I'm George Marche. I'm 23 years old. I was born in Fredericksburg, Virginia, raised in King George, Virginia, which is about 25 miles east. My parents are Lebanese American. I've went to the University of Mary Washington, which is a small liberal arts Virginia college. Got my degree in mathematics and a minor in computer science. I found politics to be very interesting about 3 years ago. That's when I kind of started to just look into parties, look into where the funding is going, look into certain issues that have been shed light upon. Because when you get to a liberal arts school, you get a lot of liberal arts movements, and it kind of got to me. I was like, I gotta check these things out. They're actually putting out a pretty legitimate message. And once I started tying things together, tying issues to other issues, I started to realize we live in a very, very money-driven, corrupt world, and I feel like it's my purpose to strive to take a next step, to work and to unite with a group of people. And just a few months ago, in Richmond, there's the James River, and we have an electric company called Dominion Virginia Power. They got the okay from our governor and from our Virginia government to dump 30 million tons of coal ash into our river, destroying our drinking source, destroying our parks, destroying our lifestyle. And it really hit me. It was, the water was murky. It was disgusting. It used to be clear. And seeing what's happening here is very horrible, especially considering the fact that these people are absolutely oppressed to begin with. It's like adding insult to injury. And ultimately, everything connects to everything else. What we do here ultimately reflects on what we do to the world. My friend on Facebook, she was like, George, you're gonna feel spiritual. You're gonna feel spirit. I had no idea what it meant before. I've kind of been in the same spot for about 23 years, so like my entire life. So coming in here, I didn't know what to expect. I came here and hundreds and hundreds of flags, people all over the place, working together to build their own tents, to work with each other, to take care of the necessities of life, which ultimately are the only things that really we're dependent on, and the really only things that we should actually be emotionally worried about. And just everybody treating each other like they're best friends since third grade, despite the fact that they've never seen each other before, is just absolutely breathtaking. And I never expected this at all. I expected this to be, not even a vacation, but just a way to just, fight for something while I get to see something new, because I'm not going to treat it like a vacation. But at the same time, I didn't expect myself to fall in love with this place. I'm in love with it. It's wow. This is what living is supposed to be about. We are creatures on this earth. We're not robots of society. We're taught to care about credit scores and money and a new house and how you're going to get a mortgage and how you're going to get a 401k. Instead, you just treat nature. You're thankful for the land. You're thankful for the people around you. You work together. Everything is your resource, and everything is given to you that you need. And it's such a beautiful feeling. I've been to the polar opposite of this spiritual feeling. I used to work for Northrop Grumman. Worked there for over a year. And I've started working and I finished working during my hatred of the military-industrial complex and my understanding of the injustices. Even with all that in mind, I still kind of had I had the bravery, I guess I could call it. I had the audacity, if you want to go a little further, to work for a corporation that was completely against my values and I knew was completely destroying people's lives and literally murdering people. Every day I went into work, I felt like an empty feeling in my stomach. I felt like, George, what are you doing? You're getting a paycheck, but for what reason? And I got fired because I kept coming in late. I kept coming in late because I kept staying up late. I kept staying up late because I wanted to go out and not come back home, because I didn't want to come back to the place where I was getting so much emotional distress. And I literally would just kill hours. It would be 2 o'clock, the bar would be closed. There's nothing to do. I would still find any means to just kill time, not go back home. I'd spend my time at work, honestly, on Facebook a lot, talking about a lot of politics. And and sometimes or another, I would speak about the military. And people would tell me, George, don't you work for these same companies? And honestly, sometimes it would be difficult for me to answer. But I had the response. I had a reason to work. I'm in a lot of debt. that's what this country does to you. It puts you in debt, and it kind of forces you to work for somebody and sell your soul almost, you know? I've had a lot of friends who have the same values and tell me, oh, I'm selling my soul, and they sign that contract to work. But still in a little bit of debt. I'm going to have to find a way to manage. I'm going to find a new job. There's a lot of other software engineering jobs out there, but I certainly won't be working for a Northrop company anymore. It's tough. It really was hurtful, and everybody there was ex-military, desensitized, a lot of Islamophobia, a lot of people who kind of they saw a little bit of a little comical aspect to just murdering people and launching missiles. You know, they joked about the fact that it was so fun compared to being in the front lines to just press a button and launch a torpedo on a bunch of little signals on a screen that were actually human beings. You know, and they just enjoyed that experience so much rather than just going out in the front lines. And like, how dehumanized are you? How like desensitized are you from the fact that you're murdering families? You're potentially murdering children and women. These drone strikes aren't completely efficient, and what we're doing there is completely out of hand.